Today the topic that I have decided to speak to you guys is on something called the power of dreams. Okay, what do dreams do to people? And a little bit about what I have done, because the moment I got introduced as the Associate Vice President of Infosys, you will think that this guy comes with two horns. You guys think this guy is technologically very superior, must be from an elite business school like the IIMs and the IITs and things not. But let me tell you a quick story. I passed out of school sometime in 1994. Most of you would not have been born by then. But just like any student born in Tamil Nadu, because Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh has this unique distinction. If you're a child born in Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, there are only two career options which are given to these kids. Either you become a doctor or an engineer, right? And we were two children in my family. I had my younger brother, and by the draw of lots, I got engineering and my brother got medicine. But God had very different plans. Neither did I become an engineer, nor did my brother become a doctor. Not because of anything else. Anna University rules in 1994 was fairly strict. If you want to be an engineer, you need to score a minimum of 120 marks in maths, physics and chemistry to be eligible to write an engineering entrance examination. You had something like NEET for engineering as well. And I did so well in my 12th standard that I scored 71 in mathematics. And not out of 100, that was out of 200. Which is just managed to pass, right? 71 out of 200 is, I think somebody was kind enough to push me through. More than mathematics, I think it is a hatred I developed towards my mathematics teacher that I started showing up in the subject, that I scored 71 in mathematics. And I really didn't know where my life is going to head to, because Anna University rules was very clear. It is 120 in mathematics for you to be eligible to write an engineering entrance examination. And here is a student who is not eligible to write an engineering entrance examination. My mom was a school teacher, and she in all her life wanted her son to be an engineer, and she didn't even think that her son is not eligible for a management quota, right? So engineering was not my cup of tea. It was decided that I need to get into an arts and science college. All possible arts and science college, the application bounced back, and there was one nice college called Loyola College in Chennai, which was very kind enough to... Oh, okay. Loyola College was kind enough to give me a seat. And guess what seat I got? I scored 71 in mathematics. So I went and asked for chemistry to Father Principal. Father, I want chemistry. And he said, you scored only 71 in mathematics. Can you ask for something else? Physics? No. Computer science? No. I didn't do biology, so I didn't get zoology or botany. Sociology was also rejected. Finally, they gave me statistics, right? Now you can imagine 71 in mathematics on one side and you get statistics on the other side. I was wondering what on earth this principal is thinking about. Because statistics is not about arithmetic, mean, median and mode. It is not like putting your right leg into a hot frying pan and left leg into a pack of ice and shouting on an average I'm comfortable. No, statistics was very, very tough. It was very tough. But all my friends went into these leading engineering colleges, Anna University, SSN, Vellore Engineering College then, and I was the only student who was going to an arts and science college. And it was not easy by then. But you know what? That's the time I realized that in life, people will always come and tell you what you're not good at, okay? Remember, if you're not good at something, every Tom, Dick and Harry around you will keep coming and telling you, oh, you're weak in this particular subject, you're not good in this subject. Nobody bothered to come and tell you what you're good at, right? Now, when I look back to my life, I was only weak in mathematics. I was not academically a dull student. Otherwise, I wouldn't have scored 196 in chemistry. And I realized, if I'm weak in mathematics, there has to be something that I should be good at. And remember this statement, my dear friends. Even a stop clock shows the right time twice every day. Many of us are a stop clock at some point in time in our careers. You need somebody to put the battery. You need somebody to encourage you at that particular point in time, and life moves on. And when I scored 71 in mathematics, when the entire world was against me, there are two people who stood by me. My parents. And they said, look, focus on what you're good at. Don't worry about what you're not good at. And little did I realize that my father was making such a profound statement, what Dr. Clifton, the father of strength psychology, said. Focus on what you're good at. That is what is going to make you a successful career person, and not something that you're not good at. So Gallup, in fact, defines strength and weakness in the most beautiful manner. I'm saying there's a guy called the author of the Strength Finder book, Tom Rath, who defines strength and weakness in the most beautiful manner. Strength is not something you're good at, and weakness is not something you're bad at. Anything that you enjoy doing is your strength, and anything that you don't enjoy doing, irrespective of the result, is still your weakness. So from statistics, I realized that, look, numbers is not my game. I want to do something different. So I went on to do my social work degree, my post-graduation, and specialized in human resources. Something was telling me that I was good in solving people problem, not as much as good in solving analytical problem, and that's why I chose HR as my career. Now today when I go and give my business card to some people, the first thing that will strike them is the brand that I work for. Oh, Infosys. You're the head of human resources for Infosys. You're an associate vice president. All this designation get people fancied about it. Nobody asked me, where did you work first? So let me tell you, my dear friends, a lot of engineering students are here. You will be talking about your dream job of getting into the Apples of the world, the Googles of the world, or Infosys, Cognizant, TCS, and all these companies. I entered Infosys in a very, very different manner. And I just wrote about it 2-3 days back on my Facebook page. It was in 2000 September that I used to work for a company called Pizza Corner India Private Limited. Pizza Corner was the first company that gave me a job from my campus, and I used to be the HR person for Pizza Corner. And my job entitled that I need to go for PF audits and this restaurant audits. As an HR person, I need to go and do these audits. So in 2000 September, on a weekday, it was a Tuesday afternoon, I was in the Nandanam restaurant doing the PF audit, and suddenly the cashier of the restaurant started screaming in loud voice. He said, buddies, 50 large pizzas is the order that we have got. I didn't understand why he was screaming in such joy, because little did I realize that 50 pizzas on a weekend is a small order, whereas 50 pizzas on a weekday is a very big order. And suddenly the restaurant started, everybody started working very enthusiastically. And after about 17 minutes to 18 minutes, the manager walked up to me and he asked me, Sujit, do you have a driving license? I said, of course I do. And then he said, if you don't mind, can you please help us with this pizza delivery? And I said, why? Why would I do that? And he said, look, it's an off day. We only have 6 people in the restaurant. One guy has to be in the restaurant. We need at least 6 people to go and deliver 50 pizzas. So I took the scooter. There was an LML Vespa scooter. You've seen the Domino's guys, right, going on delivery. So I took the scooter, went along with 5 of my colleagues to an office called Infosys Technologies in Alexandra Square in Guindy. And trust me, I didn't even know that Infosys was an IT company till 2000 September. So the first time I walked into Infosys was with a red t-shirt, green pants and brown shoes with a green cap, 3 boxes of pizzas on my right hand, 3 boxes of pizza on my left hand to the Alexandra Square office. I walked in, and the moment I walked in, I just fell in love with that office. Beautiful looking boys and girls, all dressed up smartly with formal wear, tie and whatever. And the temperature inside was 18 degrees. Temperature outside in Chennai, you know, Chennai only has 3 climates, hot, hotter and hottest, right? There's no other climate. So this is hot. Hotter is coming now, hotter, and then you'll get hottest. So September is considered to be hot in Chennai. So I walked in 18 degrees. I said, God willing, one day I have to come and work for this office. This is all that I thought deep inside. I didn't even know what Infosys does at that particular point in time. The thought inside said, God willing, one day you should come and work for this company. 2-3 months later, they advertised in the newspaper saying that they're looking for an HR person. My fiancée, who used to work for an HR consultancy, she sent my CV. And I told her, look, don't joke around. Infosys is not going to look at my CV. They shortlisted my CV for whatever reason, and they started the interview process. Interviewed for 6 months by 7 different people, 7 rounds of interview. And it was like whenever they got bored, they used to call me, tell me something about you. I said, no, last week only I finished. That is for a different person. This is for a different person. Tell me something about you. I went on and on and on. And finally, they decided to give me an offer as an entry-level HR person. I joined Infosys on the 5th of March 2001. I completed 18 years just 3 days back in Infosys, right? Remember, my dear friends, it's a dream that matters the most. It's not the degree. It's not how much CGPA you have. It's not about the college that you study. None of this actually matters. None of this actually matters. Dream big. And you know, some of my friends who said, I'm in IIT and IIM, unfortunately, I have to do their interviews now. And say, come, welcome aboard. You know, please join me as senior project manager or whatever. Right? Life comes beautiful. The second dream, I have no shame in accepting the fact that I got into Loyola College more because there was some kind-hearted soul who wrote me a recommendation letter saying this is a good boy, why don't you just admit him? And my entry into Loyola College was never pleasant. I was treated like an unwanted person because you come on a recommendation to a premier college, nobody's going to treat you well. The second biggest success story for me came on October 2nd of 2015. What happened on October 2nd of 2015? October 2nd is the World Alumni Day for Loyola College, the Alumni Congress. Every year, October 2nd, you will find all ex-Loyalites coming to the college, and they honors few alumni people for the Distinguished Alumni Award. So on October 2nd of 2015, Loyola decided to honor 4 people. The 4th award was given to this guy who once got into Loyola College purely for recommendation. And that day, I will never forget that day. My mom has never come with me for any award function. That day, she decided to come for the award function. And the principal, who very reluctantly gave me a seat, also was there in the award function. And he said, when the award was given, he said, "Is your mom here?" And he called my mom on stage. My mom walked up from the left side of the stage, gave me a hug, and she came very close to my cheeks. And I thought she's going to plant a kiss on my cheeks. And she came near my ears and said something and left. And I didn't understand. I looked at my mom and I said, "What are you saying?" She only said this, right? She said, "Look there." And I couldn't just see anything because I was on cloud 9, because to my left is Dr. Rangarajan. To my right, I have Chief Justice of Jammu and Kashmir High Court, and I'm sitting there. And I didn't understand what she was trying to tell me. When I got down, I walked up to her and I said, what were you telling me to see there? And she looked at me and she said, "It was May 27th of 1994. That was a corridor we were standing for 8.5 hours to get an admission into Loyola College, right? Because of recommendation, you were made to wait. 8.5 hours, me and my mom were standing in a corridor which was few hundred meters away. And today, it is exactly on the opposite stage that you're getting an award." And she told me, "This is what success is all about," right? And she defines success in the most beautiful manner. She says, "To come from there to here is what success is all about. You made me proud." Now, that was my second biggest moment. Now, to you, my dear young friends, now, does it mean that education is not important? Education is absolutely important. Your marks are very, very important. More than anything else, as an HR person, when I do an hiring, I don't hire for a competency. Competency comes secondary. I hire for an attitude. If the attitude is there, you can make it big, because people with positive attitude can dream big. So why is dream so important? Each and every one of us get dreams. But most of us get dreams when we are sleeping. And those are not dreams. Those are called fantasies. I can see a lot of gentlemen here. Like me, most of you would have had a dream of playing for the Indian national cricket team, right? As a kid, I always thought I was so good in cricket that I'm one day going to play alongside Sachin Tendulkar. That every time I sleep, I used to only get this dream. Dreams as if Sachin Tendulkar is falling at my feet and crying, literally crying. And I used to console Sachin Tendulkar, "Don't worry." Sachin Tendulkar comes and tells me, "Look, today is the last day of my career. India versus Pakistan. I unfortunately got out. You need to help me." And what was the target? 6 balls, 30 runs. 6 balls, 30 runs, last wicket. I'm the last wicket and it's my debut match. You can imagine. I'm on tremendous pressure. I consoled Sachin Tendulkar. I said, "Don't worry, I will take care." And then I walked. I took my glove, put my bat under my arms and just walked around. Saurav Ganguly standing very sadly. And the next pillar I have Rahul Dravid. They have all lost hope. And then I walked into the Wankhede Stadium. Like any Indian national player, I also look up to the sky. And then I looked into the audience. I saw my mother. She did this. So I told my mom, "Don't worry," okay? And as I walked in, I saw this guy called Shoaib Akhtar, okay? Now, Shoaib Akhtar is a guy, if the match is in Avadi, you will come from Andhra Pradesh, running from there, right? 6 balls, 30 runs. The first ball goes into my helmet visor and hits me here, and blood starts coming out, right? Everybody is around me. The entire Pakistan team is around me. They thought this kid is done and dusted. The next 5 balls, I decided, I threw the helmet out, took the blood, put it here, yeah, and started whacking 5 sixers. India won the match. Sachin Tendulkar came and lifted me. I am on Sachin Tendulkar's shoulder now, right? Somebody opened the champagne bottle and spraying champagne on my face. And then I realized it's not champagne. My mother is pouring water on my face and said, "Damn it, get lost." Every day you keep doing this. Now remember, my dear friends, these are not dreams. These are fantasies. And I googled up about dreams and the multiple definition of dreams. One of the most favorite definition of dreams came from late Dr. J. Abdul Kalam, who said, dreams are not something which makes you fall asleep. Dreams are something which does not make, dreams are not something which does not make you fall asleep, right? It doesn't come during sleep. A thought which does not make you fall asleep is a dream. And for you, you need to remember what is your big dream. As a young kid, when I always thought my biggest dream, you know what, I'm not exaggerating. This is lecture number 2108 for me. I keep a count of the number of lectures that I go and speak everywhere, right? And if somebody told me in school that you're going to be a motivational speaker or a public speaker, I would have laughed at them. But you know, the dreams that I always used to get is like this. The dreams are always from the background. I can see the audience, but I cannot see my face. I was standing there in big stages. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that I'm going to go and speak to large audience. Year 1995, the parish that I belonged to, I had a spiritual guide, Father KJ Francis, who's no more. He actually told me that, look, if you want to go and speak in large forums, you need to read a lot. Reading is the first stage before you go and speak, because you need to talk about original ideas. And these are books which can stimulate you to think. And I told Father, the moment I take a book, I go off to sleep. So he said, I'm going to give you a story book which will be easy to read. And he gave me a book called Chicken Soup for the Soul. Now, when I looked at the book, I asked him, Father, this looks like a cookery book. He said, no, Chicken Soup for the Book is an inspirational story book. Why don't you just read? I read the book in one single day flat, and I just fell in love with the book. I waited for the next edition, and I wrote it down in a small diary that I still hold it very, very dear to me. Some of my dreams, I write it down there. I said, one day, I want to meet Jack Canfield, who was the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, and get an autograph from him, okay? And this was way back in 95. I wrote this small dream of mine. I want to meet Jack Canfield and get an autograph, because he developed the habit of reading in me. Today I have a whopping 7,000 books in my library. Now, a dream which was in 1995 when I wrote it down, I started public speaking because of this reading habit, lectures after lectures. You know what happened about 3 months back? There is something called as the National Achievers Conference, which happens in 4 major cities in Chennai. And the organizers approached me saying, you're going to speak as one of the speakers. And there are 6 speakers, and the star speaker who's coming down this year is Jack Canfield from the US. Okay, Jack Canfield is 74 years now. A dream that I wrote down sometime back in 1995. I'm going to share the same stage where Jack Canfield is going to come and speak. So I was all thrilled. And you know what the star speakers do? They don't come in advance. They'll come only at the last minute. They'll make a rock star entry. So I was hoping that I'll get some time, at least a photograph with him. Bangalore, I missed a chance of meeting him because of my official commitment. But the organizers went and told Jack Canfield, look, there's this young man who's coming and speaking about martyrdom stories. You should listen to him if possible. And if possible, why don't you just meet him? So I finished my speech. The organizers walked up to me and said, there is somebody who's waiting to meet you. I go backstage and I saw a 6'5" tall man, Jack Canfield, my hero, who I wanted to meet in 1995, standing there. He shook hands. And he told the organizers, I want to meet him for 20 minutes, don't disturb. The next 20 minutes was a one-on-one discussion with Jack Canfield. And then he told me something which is very, very special. He said, I heard you speak about a couple of stories. The stories are so good that it can actually be featured in Chicken Soup for the Soul book. And I was like on cloud 9, right? Remember, my dear friend, dreams have it actually has infinite possibilities. Now, the effort to dream small and the effort to dream big doesn't cost you anything. It actually takes the same effort for you to dream small and for you to dream big. Dream big. Now today, if somebody told me that you will be head of HR of Infosys, I would have laughed at it. If somebody said I would have been a big public speaker in 94, 95, I would have laughed at it. But what matters the most is the attitude which matters and the intent to do good. The last 2 minutes with which I'll close, my dear friends. Life is all about a purpose. Remember, as young kids, when you're in college, you will be chasing marks. You will chase placements. You will be chasing designations once you come into the corporate house. You want to be the AVP, the VP, the EVP, and SVP, and whatever you want to call yourself. But life is not just about that. Life is not just about the apartments that you buy. Life is not just about the swanky cars that you drive. Somewhere in the small diary, I always used to write a small word of prayer, and the prayer used to be, God, please use me for something much, much larger than what I'm doing right now. The prayer is very simple. I said, God, please use me for something much, much larger than what I'm doing right now. I don't want my life to be confined to the HR profession. I just don't want my life to be confined to Infosys. I want to close by saying this, my dear friends. Dream big. It doesn't cost you anything. Let dreams become reality, because it is a fuel to your direction that you want to travel a long way. Make life meaningful. Make life a lot more purposeful. It was such a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so very much.